Nina stops by the gallery, and a concerned Ava says she's been texting and calling her. Ava has heard the short version from Rick about the custody hearing and asks Nina what happened. Nina cries that it was everything she feared and so much worse. Nina tells her that Drew has his hooks so deeply in Willow that she no longer recognizes her daughter. Ava advises Nina what not to do next. Ava can't believe Drew doesn't see that he is the problem in Willow's life. Nina says she's tried to tell him that, but Drew is threatening to take her and Portia down for drugging him should either of them step out of line. Nina fears the only way out of this now is to tell Willow the truth about sleeping with Drew. Ava points out that she advised that from the beginning. However, now she says Nina needs to be careful, as Willow may not believe her, or she'll believe Drew when he calls Nina a liar. With her out of the picture, Willow will only have Drew to lean on. As someone who alienated and lost her daughter, Ava tells Nina not to say a word right now as she can't afford for Willow to shun her and cling to Drew. Willow hears out Drew and Martin. Drew comes home from a run, and Willow is shocked that he's already been up and out. She thinks she must have fallen back asleep, and notes she's still so tired. Drew offers to make her breakfast, but she's not hungry. She has no motivation to start her morning without seeing her kids. Drew asks if Willow has thought about his proposal. She has, and she says Drew is the reason she lost her children, so she doesn't see how marrying him will help her get them back. Drew says she's right, and he should never have taken her to D.C. with him, and he should never have drawn up the guardianship papers. Willow makes excuses for him that justify why he did those things. Drew says the judge didn't understand his motives, which is why, from now on, they consult a lawyer before making any moves. Willow feels like getting married because a lawyer says so makes her feel like she's using him. Drew knows it's not the most romantic of proposals or weddings, but he says he wants to marry her no matter what. Plus, marriage makes sense to get her kids back. Martin arrives later and lays out his argument for Willow and Drew getting married. He also notes that with Drew's reputation restored, they have a chance to get custody back. Drew asks if that means Tracy is going to play ball. Martin says not happily, but she has little choice. Martin leaves, and Willow admits to Drew that the lawyer gave her some hope, and she can breathe again. She tells Drew they should get married. Willow and Drew kiss. Back at the gallery, Nina agrees with Ava and notes how fragile Willow was when she left the hospital. Drew wouldn't even let her go home with him and Willow. Nina then gets a text from Willow, who wants them to meet at the pool. Ava thinks that is a good sign, and Nina hopes Willow will be able to get through this after all. Christina advises Michael. Michael is with Wiley and Christina at the pool, as Wiley is taking swim lessons again this summer. Wiley shows his dad how Uncle Drew taught him to hold his breath. When Wiley returns to his instructor, Christina tells Michael he covered nicely when Wiley mentioned Drew. Michael reflects on last summer when he and Willow hung out with Drew and the kids, and wonders if he was just oblivious to what was going on. Christina tells him that he needs to not let his anger for Drew consume him, as she knows a little about that with what happened with Ava. He needs to be careful not to do or say something he can't take back. Michael says it seems like she's talking about something else and asks what she did. Christina insists she's done nothing. She doesn't want to see his anger for Drew and Willow take any more from him. She points out that he has the kids, he's home and healthy, and that's what matters. Michael tells her that she's right, and he'll focus on the kids when he feels the need for revenge. He still hopes Willow gets to a place that she can be around the kids, but he doesn't know if and when he'll feel comfortable letting her see them. Wiley gets out of the pool and is hungry, so Michael suggests they go home and get a sandwich. Michael invites Christina to join them, and they take off. They leave Wiley's Lila's kids' t-shirt behind. Curtis wants to work with Tracy. Curtis visits Tracy at the Quartermain mansion to offer her a chance to work with him and give Drew the setback he deserves. She listens, and Curtis tells her that, unfortunately, her arrest on the red carpet at the nurses' ball has shifted the public's perception of Drew, and he looks like a victim now. Tracy insists Drew framed her, which is why Curtis says they need to find a way to get Drew to recant his accusation. Tracy tells him about Martin and Drew's offer for her to make a public apology to him and welcome him into the Quartermain family, but she isn't going to do that.